Okay, so you're trying to pick your next pro camera. It's a huge decision, right? And if you're in the Canon ecosystem, it almost always boils down to these two heavyweights, the R5 and the R6 Mark II. Now, they look nearly identical on the outside, but trust me, they are built on two completely different philosophies. So the big question is, which one is actually right for the work you do? Well, let's break it all down.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get into the core idea behind each camera. Then we're diving straight into that big debate, monster resolution versus killer low-light performance. After that, we'll look at pure raw speed, compare their surprisingly different video chops, and finally, we'll put it all together to help you decide which one really belongs in your camera bag.
All right, first up, this is not just about comparing a list of specs. No, this is about two cameras that were designed with a totally different photographer in mind. It's a true clash of philosophies. So on one side, you have the Canon R5. We're calling it the Resolution King. This beast is built for one thing, maximum incredible detail. It's for photographers who need every single pixel they can possibly get. And on the other side, you've got the R6 Mark II, the performance workhorse. This camera is all about speed, efficiency, and just being an absolute tank of reliability out in the field. And you know, that difference in philosophy, it really starts at the very heart of the camera, the sensor. This is where you see the epic battle between resolution and low-light capability play out. I mean, just look at these numbers. They're kind of staggering. The R5 is packing a massive 45-megapixel sensor. The R6 Mark II has 24. That's an 87% advantage in pure pixel count for the R5. If you're a commercial shooter, a studio pro, or a landscape photographer, this is an absolute game changer. We're talking gigantic prints and the freedom to crop way in without losing an ounce of quality. But like with anything in tech, there's always a trade-off, isn't there? See, having more pixels crammed onto a sensor means each individual pixel has to be smaller. And that right there, that brings us to the R6 Mark II's secret weapon. So because the R6 Mark II has fewer pixels on that same sized full-frame sensor, each pixel is a massive 86% larger. And bigger pixels are like bigger buckets for catching light. It directly translates to cleaner, less noisy images in dark environments. For a wedding photographer shooting in a candlelit church, that's everything. That is the difference maker. Okay, a clean image is great, but you've got to capture the moment in the first place, right? And this brings us to speed, where, well, one of these cameras has a very decisive advantage. Get this. Using the electronic shutter, the R6 Mark II shoots at an absolutely incredible 40 frames per second. That is double the R5's already impressive 20 frames per second. For anyone shooting sports or wildlife, doubling your burst rate is the difference between capturing the exact moment the ball hits the bat and missing it by a split second. But wait, the R6 Mark II has another insane trick up its sleeve. It's a feature called a pre-shooting buffer. This means the camera starts taking pictures the moment you half-press the shutter, before you fully press it down. So when that bird you've been watching suddenly takes flight, you slam the button, and boom, the camera has already saved the half second of action before your brain even had time to react. It's an incredible safety net that turns so many near misses into perfect shots. Of course, these days, most pros are hybrid shooters, and video is where this comparison gets really interesting. It's a choice between raw, uncompromised power and dependable, real-world reliability. Now, the R5 is a video powerhouse on paper. I mean, glorious 8K raw video and beautiful 4K slow motion up to 120 frames per second. But, and this is a big but, its weakness is heat, and that leads to recording limits. The R6 Mark II, on the other hand, tops out at 4K, but it has no recording limits, none. If you're shooting long-form interviews or an entire wedding ceremony, that is a mission-critical difference. And the R6 Mark II's whole design just feels more video-centric. It has a dedicated switch to instantly jump between photo and video modes, no more menu diving. It can automatically correct for that distracting lens breathing effect, which gives you much smoother focus pulls. Oh, and it's way more efficient with batteries. These are all practical workflow advantages that serious video shooters will absolutely love. So we've seen the specs, we've talked about the philosophies behind them. Now it's time for the verdict. And really, it all just comes down to matching the right tool to your specific job. Look, if you shoot weddings or events, the R6 Mark II is pretty much purpose-built for you. That unlimited video recording means no more anxiety during the ceremony. The battery will last you through a long day. Its low-light autofocus is just incredible in dark venues. And those 24-megapixel files won't completely destroy your hard drives. It is the practical, reliable choice, hands down. But if you're in the commercial or studio world, the whole conversation shifts. Here, clients are demanding the absolute highest resolution possible for things like billboards and magazine spreads. The R5's 45 megapixels deliver that in spades, giving you insane detail and the flexibility to crop however you need to. For this kind of work, the R5 is the ideal tool, no question.
Now, for my sports and wildlife photographers, this is the toughest call. It's a really nuanced choice. The R6 Mark II's blistering 40 frames per second gives you the absolute best chance of nailing that peak action. But the R5's 45 megapixels let you crop in like crazy on a distant animal or player and still walk away with a high-quality image. It's a tough trade-off. Do you want the speed to capture the moment or the resolution to frame it perfectly in post? And then, of course, there's the price. The R5 costs about $1,400 more, and that is not a small difference. Think about it this way. For the price of an R5 body alone, you could get an R6 Mark II body and a top-tier professional L-series lens. That's an investment that could arguably make a much bigger impact on your final images.
So at the end of the day, the choice really boils down to this one question. What does your work truly demand? Is it the ultimate resolution, giving you maximum detail and flexibility? Or is it ultimate reliability, a workhorse camera that you know will never, ever let you down? The best camera isn't the one on a spec sheet, it's the one that answers that question for you.